There's a call for God, I see it everywhere. Everybody's running scared, and everything is turning upside down. But our world's not here, they keep coming through from deep inside of me and you. It's telling us that love is who I am. You and me, we're not that far apart. Yeah, we're beating the same heart. We've been together from the start. Tell me, can you hear it? Tell me, can you feel it? Put your arms around it and know that we are one. Welcome to A Course of Love. Welcome to A Course of Love. This is Earl Purdy. Now let's come together and understand that Christ was born inside of every man. He's waiting for us to choose him as ourselves. When you choose him, you know you choose me too. Everyone becomes a part of you, and then you know that love is who I am. You and me, we're not that far apart. Yeah, we're beating the same heart. We've been together from the start. Tell me, can you hear it? Tell me, can you feel it? Put your arms around it and know that we are one. Welcome to A Course of Love. Yeah, we are one. Welcome to A Course of Love. Oh, we are one. Welcome to A Course of Love. Welcome to A Course of Love. This is Earl Purdy. I want you to just remember that you need not believe the ideas. You need not welcome the ideas. You need not accept the ideas. Some of the ideas are going to be hard to believe. Some of the ideas are going to be quite startling. You are not asked to judge and analyze the ideas at all. It's the use of the ideas that will give the ideas meaning to you. It's the use of the ideas that will show you that the ideas are true. You and me were not that far apart. Yeah, we're needing the same heart. We've been together from the start. Tell me, can you hear it? Tell me, can you feel it? Put your arms around it. Know that we are one. Oh yeah, welcome to A Course of Love. Welcome, mighty companions. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me live. 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 Thank you for joining me and joining me live. Wow, it is so good to be with my mighty companions. Welcome, mighty companions. Welcome to A Course of Love. Thank you for sending all of those incredible hearts out. CJ, Lori, Myrna, Iva, Kathy, Jennifer, And all the rest of you that are online, I want to thank you for coming to A Course of Love. And tonight, in A Course of Love, now remember, I'm going to try to, I was thinking about this today. I was thinking about, I spent a lot of time thinking about how I can be a better teacher, a better conduit, a better facilitator. That occupies a whole lot of my attention during the day. I want to be the best channel for God and love that I can be. And I was thinking about the course of love. Like, what is it that I really enjoy the most about sharing the course of love, or the way of mastery, or the course of miracles? I see my role kind of like, my role is to bring it to life, to help it not just be words on the page that we're reading, but to actually hear it. Like, whether or not you believe it or not, my goal is for you to hear it through me, and me to hear it through me. And so, thank you. Thank you for your trust. Thank you for your willingness to listen and watch this Course of Love class live when you could be doing something else. But this is a time for us to remember. This is a time for us to take a breath, put away the world, just like you put away dishes, and take an intermission and go back to the remembrance of who we really are as spiritual beings, having a human experience. You're not your body. You're not your personality. You're not your gender. You're not any of the things that are based on separation in the body. You are spirit. You are love. And hello from Australia. It's good to see you. Mark, Joanne, Lori, Susan. It's great to see you online. Please communicate with each other. Please comment. Please like. Please share the videos, because you're here with your mighty companions. We're going to be on chapter 26 in the Course of Love. Chapter 6, page 167. Chapter 26, page 167. 167, chapter 26, in A Course of Love. And the name of this section is The Full Life. It's The Full Life. I'm going to go through it, and then I'm going to stop and get a chance to check out the comments that you've made or any questions, and then I'm going to cover some more. It's a very simple process. So take a breath with me. Pray for me. Ask that I be a pure conduit. This is Yeshua, or Jesus, talking to us through A Course of Love. And he's saying, "It is often spoken of with some amazement that I lived a short life. I preached only a small part of my life, I didn't travel very far. I didn't have a lot of possessions, and I didn't have a lot of friends." And we talked before about how much tragedy you feel when somebody young dies. You each have some notion of what you believe a full life to be. You each have a notion of what you think a full life is. For some of you, a full life would include marriage and children. For some of you, a full life would be career. For some of you, a full life would be a religious commitment. For some of you, a full life would be creative endeavors. Some of you think of travel. Some of you think of adventure. Some of you think of friendships. And some of you think of financial security as being a full life. Most of you will think of having a long life. Most of you want to live a long time. Many of you question the line between fate and accomplishment. And some people chosen for greatness, and are some people just chosen for mediocrity? Are some people chosen for greatness? Are some people, like an Oprah, or a president, a movie star, people who are famous were they chosen for greatness, others for mediocrity? Few recognize the tragedy in the life of a person. Few recognize the tragedy in the life of a person, except in instances of great dichotomy, perhaps best expressed in the life of the tragic hero. This observance of tragedy in life occurs only when the observation is also made of the greatness, the glory in the life. Without the recognition of the glory of life, without the recognition of the glory of life, without the recognition of the glory of life, there is no recognition of tragedy until the life has ended, without the recognition of the glory of life. In contrast, in the life of the tragic hero, excluding those who are posthumously given such a title, the tragedy is most often considered a fall from greatness. A fall from greatness is usually considered to be the greatest tragedy. It is seen in the allure of myths where those who associate themselves too closely with the gods are punished for such folly. Such fear of greatness and glory, of the possibility of a fall from greatness and glory, results in many tragedy-less lives. Nothing ventured, nothing gained is an axiom for such lives. Fear of the fall is a primal fear. The first fear, the fear behind all such axioms, is fear of the fall. The fear of failure is the greatest fear. The fear of the fall, that's the primal fear. The first fear, the fear behind all such axioms. Again, I offer my life as the example life and reiterated the message expressed in A Course in Miracles. The true meaning of the crucifixion, the true meaning of the crucifixion, the real meaning of the crucifixion is that the crucifixion was the last and final end to all such fears and myths. All such fears were taken to the cross with me and banished in the resurrection of the glory that is ours. So I want you to hear this. I want you to hear this as best you can hear this. I want you to hear this as best you can hear this. Raj, I want you to hear this. Mighty companion, I want you to hear this. Do not be afraid, my brothers and sisters in Christ. Realize that there is no cause for fear. There's no reason for fear. You cannot fly too closely to the sun. You cannot be deceived any longer by tales of woe and of fallen heroes. You can be deceived no longer. Your story is a story of glory. Your story is a story of glory. Your greatness can no longer be denied. Your greatness can no longer be denied. Your greatness can no longer be denied. Your greatness you can no longer deny your greatness. You can no longer deny your greatness. Your greatness can no longer be denied unless you deny your greatness. Your greatness can't be denied unless you deny your greatness. Your greatness cannot be denied. Stop denying your greatness. Stop denying your greatness. Do you feel beautiful? 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 Do you feel prized? Do you feel prized? Do you feel beautiful? Do you feel like you are a prize? Do you feel beautiful? Do you feel like you are prized? Do you feel like you are worthy? Do you feel like you are worthy? Do you feel beautiful? Do you feel prized? Do you feel worthy? Do you feel beautiful? Do you feel prized? Do you feel worthy? Do you feel worthy? Do you feel worthy? Do you feel beautiful? Do you feel beautiful? Do you feel worthy? Do you feel prized? Then so shall you be. If you don't feel that way, you will. If you don't feel that way, if you don't feel beautiful, if you don't feel prized, If you don't feel treasured, Raj, you will. You will. Do you know what the greatest fear is? The greatest fear is the fear of meaninglessness. The greatest fear is that my life doesn't really have a meaning. My greatest fear is that my life doesn't really have a meaning. My greatest fear is that none of this means anything, that nothing I'm doing means anything, that nothing, everything is meaningless at some level. That is the greatest fear. And as stated before, the quest for meaning is how you have described your purpose here. You believe that you're here to find your purpose. To have no meaning to attach to your life is a tragedy. To think that your life has no meaning is a tragedy. To think that maybe you're here and it doesn't really mean anything and that it doesn't make any real difference is a tragedy. And believing that your life doesn't really have any deep meaning is a tragedy that you attempt to keep hidden even from yourself. So this fear goes hand in hand with your fear of the fall. For if you were to attempt to assign the meaning to your life that you think it should have, you think if you were to assign to your life the meaning that you think it should have, and it hasn't accomplished that yet, then you think it should have, a fall would surely await you, at least in your imaginings. Okay, let me hear this. I've assigned a meaning to my life that I think it should be out of sight. I think my life should be awesome. And I feel like I'm going to have a big fall if I don't live up to my expectations. So you are thus caught in a double bind. Now, what is the double bind that you are caught up in? You believe you're living a life you feel is devoid of meaning, and you are letting fear keep you from seeking the meaning that you want to give it. In other words, you feel no inherent sense of purpose. You feel no inherent... I feel compelled to say this. You may not feel the way that I'm sharing right now. You may not feel no inherent sense of purpose. You may not feel that there is no grace, no meaning beyond what you would give to your own endeavors. But there are some of us and some people that are listening that this is exactly what they're feeling like right now. Like they don't really have a purpose, that they don't really feel grace. They don't feel like anything has any meaning beyond what they give it. I'm especially talking to you. I'm especially talking to the person who feels like their life has not lived up to their expectations and that they're going to fail. I'm talking to the person that doesn't think their life really has the kind of meaning that they think their life should have. I'm talking to the person who doesn't really know what their purpose is, that they don't feel the grace, the meaning beyond their own endeavors. This is what we now leave behind, because we're going to seek to become involved. We're going to become involved, and we're going to become involved with life. I say we, because I am with you, and I won't leave your side. I'm with you, and I won't leave your side. I'm with you, and I won't leave your side. I say we because your first involvement is involvement with Christ. And having an involvement with Christ is to have an involvement with a link that links us in oneness and glory. Once again, the Christ is a link. The link that joins us in oneness and the link that joins us in glory once again. I say I say we, I say we, I say we, because we are life. We are life. You and I are life. We 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 are life. And I say we because we cannot live love apart from one another. We cannot live love separate from each other. We can't live love separate from each other. Okay. Let's see what we got. I want to hear your comments or any of your questions that you have. CJ says, if I assign meaning to my life, a fall is certain, especially if you don't live up to the expectations of the meaning that you assign to your life. Joan says, I am a beautiful, worthy prize. Joan, listen to me. You are a beautiful, worthy prize. Joanne says, I feel like a loving person. I hope to feel worthy. Joni, you are a loving person, and you are completely worthy. You are completely worthy. CJ says, I feel like a little girl right now, dancing around singing, I'm beautiful, prize, worthy, and juicy. Yes, CJ, you are beautiful, and you are prized, and you're worthy, and you are juicy. And Lori, let go of your fear of failure. We're going to both let go of our fear of failure, and we're going to do it together. Because there's some areas of me that also has this fear of failure also. So let's do that together, Lori. Let's do it together. All right. Here we go. Okay. Erica, I love you too. You're a bright light. I cannot live love without you, CJ. That is right. And Joni says separation is lonely. Separation is lonely. That's why I'm doing this. I am so determined to experience a world where it's safe and everybody loves each other and they share with each other and they care about each other and they don't attack each other. I am determined to experience the real world. The Course in Miracles and the Way of Mastery and the Course of Love, they keep saying over and over again, this is not the real world. This is not, that the real world would not be a world that we could even accidentally be hurt in. Think about that for a minute. The real world would not be a world where we could even accidentally or hurt ourselves even in our unawareness. It's a place where you feel 100% safe, where you have 100% trust. It's the world where you cannot be hurt and everybody loves everybody equally because they know they're all one. It's the world that we came from, the world that was full of total freedom and unlimited joy and happiness. You know in your soul, you know deep down in your soul, you know what I'm saying is true. So you do not yet realize that it's a we here and we can't live separate from one another. Chapter 26, paragraph 9. Chapter 26, paragraph 9. You do not yet, but will soon realize that happiness, you're going to realize the happiness that's ours. We're going to realize the happiness that is ours. Your mind can just not accept that happiness as well as meaning is due you through no effort of your own. It's hard for you to realize you deserve to be happy without having to do anything. You deserve to be happy without having to do anything. You deserve to be happy through no effort of your own. You deserve to have everything through no effort of your own. You deserve to have love through no effort of your own. It's very hard for you to accept that happiness is something you deserve through no effort on your own. You shouldn't have to do anything to be happy. You should not have to do anything to be happy. You shouldn't have to do anything to be happy. And it's hard. He says right here, your mind can just not accept that happiness as well as meaning is due you through no effort of your own. Scenes of your life play through your mind that prove that you are neither inherently happy nor your life inherently meaningful. Okay, so there's these scenes that keep going through my mind that try to prove to me that I'm not inherently happy and that I do not have a life that means something. There's a part of my mind that's always trying to convince me that I'm not happy and my life doesn't mean anything. There's a part of my mind that tries to convince me that I'm not happy and that my life doesn't mean anything. Scenes of your life play through your mind that prove that you are neither inherently happy nor your life inherently happy. Your reliance on these scenes and memories must be broken. Okay, so Jesus is saying to us, okay, you keep running it through your mind that you're not happy and that your life doesn't mean anything. There may be a part of your mind that's telling you that you're not happy and your life really doesn't mean anything. You have to stop relying on that. You have to stop relying on that part of you that tells you that you don't deserve to be happy before the words of truth can reach your mind. Okay, so we want to hear the truth. We want to hear the truth that will set us free. You want to hear the truth that will set you free. I want to hear the truth that will set me free. I won't hear the truth that will set me free until I stop telling myself that my life doesn't mean anything and that I'm not happy. First, admit that you feel happy, and then stop relying on that idea. So before the words of truth can reach your mind and begin to replace these scenes of you being unhappy with scenes of you being happy, until that time is upon you, until you're actually happy, until you actually recognize your value, what you want to do is let the words of love, the words of Jesus, the words of A Course of Love touch your heart. Until you are really happy, until you realize that your life really does mean something, your life really does mean something, until you really realize that, then what you must do is let these words touch your heart. Let these words touch your heart. Get out of your mind. 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 Go out of your mind. Go out of your mind. Go out of your mind. For the sake of everything and everybody, please, go out of your mind. Get out of your mind. Let these words touch you. Let these words touch your heart. Let what words touch your heart? Words like, you deserve to be happy through no effort of your own. You deserve to be loved no matter what. You deserve to be loved no matter what mistakes you make. You deserve to be loved no matter how angry you get. You deserve to be loved no matter how selfish you may be. You deserve to be loved no matter how guilty you may feel. You deserve to be loved no matter how violent you are. You deserve to be loved. 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 You deserve to be loved no matter how smart you are or no matter how dumb you can act sometimes. You deserve to be loved. You deserve to be loved. Let these words touch your heart. Don't analyze them. Let these words touch your heart. And Joni says, yes, get out of the mind and feel the words touch your heart. LaTanya says, I do want to hear the truth that will set me free. And I want you to hear the truth that will set you free. Joan says, such a jerk that it makes me laugh. Sometimes my mind is a jerk, such a jerk that it makes me laugh. CJ says, all right, so right. There is a part of me that believes I need to earn happiness. We got to get rid of that part of us that thinks we have to earn happiness. That's just the concept of a guilty, frightened mind. Kathy says, let's love ourselves deeply. Wherever the road for us leads, love now. Be me now. We belong. And Marion says, yes, yes, yes to the real world. That's right. Yes, yes, yes to the real world. And Yvette says, we are one. We are one. And LaTanya told me, I'm so glad that you're here, Earl. Thank you. That means a lot, LaTanya. It really does. It really does. Because I want to give more. And appreciation just makes you want to give more. So when I feel appreciated, I just want to give you even more. So thank you. Thank you. And Joni says, we are together. We are together. Okay. Thank you all for sharing. Marion says, going out of my head over love, sanity over here. CJ, my mind resists, but my heart receives. That's right. That's right. Your mind may resist, but your heart receives. Kathy says, use that undeserving part of our mind to remind ourselves we are together and we love deeply. And go out of your mind, skip the mind, go straight to the heart, get out of jail, go straight past jail. That is, I know exactly what you're talking about. Sometimes, sometimes it seems like we think that the spiritual path is an intellectual process. That it seems like sometimes my mind thinks it's going to analyze and it's going to analyze itself into enlightenment. And what we're hearing here at paragraph 10, chapter 26, it says, you who struggle to understand what these words say and what these words might mean, who strive to find the clues to what these words ask you to do, will find it difficult to cease your struggle and your striving. So I was just told that since I'm struggling to try to understand these words and what they mean, then I'm going to find it difficult to stop struggling and striving. He says, you find it almost impossible still to believe. You find it almost impossible still to believe. You find it almost impossible still to believe. Effort is not called for. Effort is not called for. Effort is not called for. Let these words touch your heart. I'm not asking you to put forth effort. I'm not asking you to put forth effort. I can hardly say it. Cease your struggle and your striving. You find it difficult to stop struggling. You find it difficult to stop your striving. Cease your struggle and your striving. Cease your struggle and your striving. Cease your struggle and your striving. I cease my struggle and my striving. Say it with me. I cease my struggle and my striving. 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 Say it please. I cease my struggle and my striving. I cease my struggle. 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 I cease my struggle and my striving. I cease my struggle and my striving. Okay. Let's just be with that for a minute. You find it almost impossible still to believe that effort is not called for, that what your heart but wishes for could simply come true through your acceptance of these words. Everything that your heart wishes for could simply come true through your accepting these words that we're hearing tonight. Everything that you have wished for can come true through your acceptance of these words that we're hearing. No effort is called for. What your heart but wishes for could simply come true through your acceptance of these words. But I am prepared to make it easy for you. I am prepared to make it easy for you. I am prepared to make it easy for you. I am prepared to make it easy for you. I am prepared. What am I prepared for? I am prepared to make it easy for you. I am prepared to make it easy for you. Chapter 26, paragraph 11. You who have so sought happiness without finding happiness. You who've been looking for happiness without finding it, rejoice. Your happiness isn't lost. Your happiness doesn't require you to define your happiness. Your happiness does not require you to define what your happiness is. To have happiness, you do not have to define what will make you happy. In order to have happiness, you don't have to come up with what you think is going to make you happy. In order to have happiness, you don't have to come up with what you think is going to make you happy. You don't have to put a name on what will make you happy before happiness comes to you. You don't have to try to describe to yourself what's going to make you happy before happiness comes to you and can be yours. Is this not what you have cried about in frustration? Haven't you sought long to put a name on your happiness? That your happiness is a person, that your happiness is a trip, that your happiness is a circumstance. If I can go to Hawaii, I would be happy. If I had this person over here named Fred, I'd be happy. Haven't you sought to put a name on your happiness? Haven't you long lamented that if you knew what would bring you happiness, you would surely pursue it? That you would really go after what would really make you happy if you knew what would really make you happy? Haven't you said to yourself you would really go after what would make you happy if you really knew what would make you happy? Haven't you long stated that if you knew what would bring meaning to your life, you would surely do it? Haven't you said over and over again that you would do the thing that would give meaning to your life? Haven't you said over and over again that you do the thing that would give meaning to your life, to be given a goal that would fulfill that longing in you? Haven't you prayed for signs? Haven't you prayed for signs? Haven't you read books that promise you a series of steps to take you to get where you want to go, only to realize that you don't even know where you want to go? You know, I'm studying a book. It's funny. I'm studying a book that promises to give me a series of steps to take me where I want to go, only for me to realize I don't even know where I want to go. And have you not become impatient with advice? Aren't you kind of tired now of just receiving a lot of advice? Haven't you become impatient with teachers? Wait, hey, hold it. Wait a minute now. What do you mean? Have you not become impatient with teachers and with courses of study? Yeah, let's just tell the truth. You probably have become impatient with teachers and courses of study. Haven't you felt at the limit of your patience with instruction? Aren't you just at the end, and the part of you just absolutely tired of getting instruction? Haven't you felt the call to live growing stronger in you by the day? Aren't you feeling the urge to really live your life at another level, getting stronger and stronger every day? Aren't you feeling this urge that you should be experiencing your life at a much greater level? Isn't that feeling, be honest, isn't that feeling getting stronger and stronger in you every day, Raj? Aren't you anxious to say, tell me what to do and I will do it? Aren't you anxious to tell the universe, your higher self, God? Don't you want to tell God, tell me what to do and I'll do it. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. I'm tired of instruction. I'm tired of reading books. I'm tired of teachers. I feel like I'm ready to live my life. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. Just tell me what to do, doggone it, and I'll do it. Aren't you ready for certainty? Aren't you ready to be certain? Don't you want to be certain above everything else now? Aren't you ready to be certain? Are you not ready to be done with studying? Aren't you ready to be done with studying? Are you not ready to be done with studying? Aren't you tired of studying? Aren't you ready to be done with studying? Aren't you ready to begin to live? Are you ready to begin with living and be done with studying? Are you ready to begin with living and be done with studying? Have you not become increasingly convinced that you haven't been living? Aren't you becoming more and more convinced that you haven't really been living yet? Aren't you becoming increasingly convinced that you haven't really been living like you know you're capable of living yet? Haven't you grown weary of what passes for life in your world? Aren't you weary of your world? I mean, be honest with yourself. Aren't you really weary of your world? Haven't you wished you could throw out all the thoughts and worries that fill your mind and begin brand new? Haven't you wished that you could throw out all of the worries that you have and begin all over? Really, think about it. Haven't you wished you could throw out all the thoughts and worries that fill your mind and just begin anew? Yeah, sometimes I wish I could just throw out all the thoughts, the feelings, the beliefs, the emotions, and the thoughts, and everything else that I'm thinking, and just start all over and be born again. You're absolutely right. Chapter 26, paragraph 13 says, aren't you simply ready to be done? Aren't you ready to be done with the way things are being? Aren't you ready to be done with the way things are being? Aren't you ready to be done with the way things have been in your life? Aren't you ready to be done with the way that things have been in some parts of your life? Aren't you ready to begin a new way? Aren't you ready to begin a new way? Aren't you ready, Raj? Aren't you ready to begin a brand new way? Aren't you ready to do something a brand new way? Aren't you ready to begin a brand new way? Aren't you ready to listen to a new voice? Are you ready to listen to a brand new voice in you? Are you not ready to listen to a brand new voice? Aren't you ready to listen to a brand new voice? I am willing to listen. I am anxious and willing to listen to a brand new voice. I'm willing to listen to another voice. I am willing to listen to a brand new voice. All this frustration, all of this impatience has been building up. All of this impatience has been building up. All of your impatience and frustration has been building up. Your frustration and your impatience has been building up. This build up of your frustration, this build up of your impatience was necessary. It was necessary. Part of your enlightenment is to get your frustration and impatience built up. Part of the path of enlightenment is to get your frustration and impatience built up. Now, like an explosion waiting to happen, it only needs a trigger to be released. And with the release of your frustration, with the release of your frustration, with the release of your impatience, the new can begin. So, do you want the new to begin, Raj? If you want the new to begin, then release your frustration and release your impatience that has been built up. This course is but a trigger. This course is but a trigger. This course is a trigger. This course is a trigger. That means These words are actually the prelude to the explosion you're going to have. And the explosion that you're going to have, Raj, is the explosion of the release of your frustration and your impatience that has been building up is going to lead to an explosion of release. These words are the prelude that happen right before the explosion of release. It is as if you have been waiting. It's as if you have been waiting for someone to whisper, now, 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 now. When do spiritual cats want it? Meow. When do spiritual cats want it? Meow. Now. 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 Right now, right now, right now, 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 now. The time is now. The time is now. What time is it? Now. What time is it? Now. Can you tell me what time it is? Now. What time is it? Now. The time is now. Can you let the worries of today leave your mind? Can you let the things you've been worrying about leave your mind? Can you let the disappointments that you went through yesterday go and be no more? Let the disappointments that you went through yesterday go. Let everything that upset you about yesterday go. Let it go, Raj. Let everything that upset you about today, let it go. When? Now. Can you let disappointments of yesterday go? Can you let disappointments not be anymore? Can you stop planning for the future? Can you let the planning for the future cease? Can you just stop planning for the future for a moment? Can you just stop thinking about the future for a moment? Will you just stop thinking about the future for just a moment? Will you stop thinking about the future for just a moment? Will you stop thinking about what's going to happen for just a moment? Will you stop thinking about the not yet for just a moment? The future is the not yet. Stop thinking about the not yet. Stop thinking about what hasn't happened yet. Stop thinking about what hasn't happened yet. Just stop for a moment from thinking about and planning what you think is going to happen next. Can you let the planning for the future cease? Can you be still? Can you be still? Can you be still and know yourself? Can you be still and know yourself? When? Now. Now. This is perhaps disappointing to you, but it's all that's required. I'm sorry it might disappoint you that it's not more complicated than this, that everything that I've shared is all that's required. If you could truly succeed at doing this for one instant, you would experience all that is holy and be forever new. If just for a minute you would let worries from today leave your mind. If you just for just 1 minute stop thinking about what happened in the past and what happened yesterday and what happened earlier today. If you would just for one instant stop planning for the future. Stop thinking about what needs to happen for you to be happy and satisfied in the future. Can you just be still? If you could do that for just an instant, you would experience being forever new. You would experience being reborn, Raj. You would experience being reborn, mighty companion. You would be forever new. So let's see what we've been singing here. Latanya says, this was for me. It was meant for me to be here tonight. Latanya, it was for me too. It was, I tell you, the time I spend with you all is the most valuable time I have that I spend. Pamela says, be still an instant. Joni says, huge. Kathy says, whispering the word Jesus and be still. Whispering now, 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 now. Pamela says, yes, stop planning and learn how to listen and carry out a plan that's given to you from wisdom much greater than yours. Stop planning and learn how to receive a plan. To be still and listen to your true self to receive a plan. Joni says, let it go now. That's right, now. Big breath in, now, says Kathy. The time is now, says LaTanya. The time is now, says Jessica. The time is now. Explosion of relief, release. Boy, I hear the laughter of our collective hearts. Thank you, everyone, says Kathy. Joan says, part of my path is building up my frustration. Well, that's good news. And Kathy says, really, Joan, just perfect thanks. What a relief. And CJ says, boom. And Truth and Tamsin says, I am listening to a brand new voice. Miss you. I miss you too, Tamsin. I am listening to a brand new voice. Trudy says, I'm tired of making it happen. I'm ready to create. I know that's right. And Pamela says, I am ready to listen to the voice of love. Yes, I am ready to listen to the voice of love. Suzanne says, I am so willing. So am I, Susan. I am so willing, Zen. I am so willing. Pamela says, I am ready to be done with the way things have been. Yes, Pamela, I'm ready to be done with the way things have been also. I see the world through the smoke screen of my mind, ready to bypass my mind. That's right, Joni. You have to bypass your mind. You have to bypass your mind. Do you hear him, my heart's heart, where art thou? Live me, live my life. So tired of these teachers to take over and think for me. You know what I'm right? That's right. That's right. I know you feel tired of teaching. I know you feel tired of studying. I know you're ready to live your life. That's why you're studying this material. We were told that it's the prelude to the explosion of the release from our frustration and impatience. And Pamela says, I study every day. If I don't think I will, what? No, you keep on studying. But it's just getting us to admit to ourselves that there's a part of us that's tired of it. There's a part of us that needs to learn that it's possible for us to be given happiness without any effort on our part. But we have to learn to recognize that. And so your study really serves an incredible purpose, and keep on doing it. Arms around you in love, LaTanya. I am with you. And Susan says, I'm ready to be done with studying and begin with living. The studying is in me now. Bruce says, yes, yes, yes. And Marion says, yes, is the tattoo on my forehead. And Charles says, I am done with studying. I am done with studying. And LaTanya says, I am with tears rolling down her face. I love it, 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 love it. Marion says, I just realized I have a deep-seated attachment to it outside of me. I thought was resolved. I guess it wasn't resolved. Yes, we sometimes think it's outside of us, but actually it isn't. And like Kathy says, love and learning does not mean struggle. And Pamela says, I don't know what will make me happy. You know, that's a really important point. That I really don't know what would make me happy. I think that was incredible when he said that about, you know, that you think you have to name what your happiness is before you can be happy. You think you've got to come up with the thing that's going to make you happy before you can be happy. And we were told that your happiness has nothing to do with you knowing what it is. Your being happy doesn't have anything at all to do with you knowing what it is. In terms of form. I thought that was really, really deep, that we need to cease struggle and striving and making. You're right, Trudy. I am love. I create love. and I extend love. So, thank you. I'm just sharing some of the comments that we are getting online live, and that is awesome. I can't always cover everybody's, but just to show you that we're all coming into this awareness together. We're all beginning to realize what's valuable together. And I'm telling you, you all feel really good tonight, and I'm really glad to be with you right now. Are you glad to be with each other? Are you thankful that we have each other right now? Does that mean a lot to you as it does to me? It does to me. I'm glad that you are here. I'm so glad that you're here. And when you when you have the icons coming across the screen, that is great. It lets me know that you're with me. It's a way of responding when you can't do it verbally. So thank you for sending up the icons and let me know that you all are with me. I'm so glad to be here with you all. I'm so glad. So in paragraph 18 it says, you may experience disappointment at these words and feel as if you have been waiting to be invited to a party and that the invitation hasn't come. You may feel like you've been waiting to be invited to a party, but you haven't got your invitation yet. Thank you. Thank you so much for all the hearts. I mean, it's a trip to see all these hearts going across the screen. I am so blessed to have you as myself. I love myselves out there. You know you all are myselves, and I'm part of yourselves, and then that just makes up oneself. So, I can feel you. I can feel you. So, it says, you may experience disappointment at these words and feel as if you have been waiting to be invited to a party and that the invitation hasn't come. This is because you are ready for the next step. Do you know that you are ready for the next step? The step, what is the next step? What is the next step? The step of being engaged. The next step is to be engaged. To be engaged with what? To be engaged with life. The next step is for you to start being more engaged in your life. Start to be more engaged in your life. The step of living from love. To be more engaged in your life, you have to start living from love. And I assure you, there is no need to sit around and wait for the time of celebration to come. There's no reason for you to sit around and wait for the time to celebrate to come. I'm inviting you to celebrate right here. I'm inviting you to celebrate with me right now. Celebrate, celebrate, dance to the music. Celebrate, celebrate, dance to the music. Yeah, celebrate, celebrate. This is the invitation to greet this day. What kind of invitation? To greet this day how? Greet this day with no worry. Greet this day with no disappointment. And greet this day with no planning. This is the invitation to greet yourself. The invitation to greet yourself and to find yourself today is the invitation to stop worrying, stop being disappointed, and stop planning. This to meet yourself, to greet yourself, to get to true celebration requires no new plans. I'm not asking you to make any decisions. I'm not asking you to make any new plans. I'm not asking you to make any new plans. I'm not asking you to make any deep decisions. I'm not asking you to make any decisions. I'm not asking you to do anything new. I'm not asking you to do anything new. I'm not asking you to do anything new. This is just an invitation from love to love. I'm asking that you be open. I just want you to be open. What does it mean to be open? I want you to allow giving. I want you to allow giving. How do you allow giving? By allowing receiving. So allow giving and receiving to take place. Allow giving and receiving. Allow giving and receiving. I allow giving and receiving in my life. 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 I allow giving and receiving. 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 I allow giving and receiving as one to take place. This invitation to your happiness only asks that you be unoccupied, stop being occupied with the old, so that the new can arrive. Stop being occupied with the old. Stop being preoccupied with the old. Stop being preoccupied with the old. Let go of the old. Let go. Let go. Let go now. Let go of the old now. Let it go now. Let those old thoughts, feelings, emotions, and beliefs that cause you pain, let these old ways of thinking that you learned from the past that hasn't really worked as far as giving you permanent happiness, Raj, let it go. Let the old go so that the new may arrive. This invitation to your true happiness, it only asks that you listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. When you listen to your heart, you're letting yourself be heard. When you listen to your heart, you are listening to yourself. I cannot tell you here what you will hear. I cannot tell you what you're going to hear when you listen to yourself. I cannot ultimately tell you what you're going to hear when you listen to yourself. But one thing is for sure, when you're listening to your true self, when you're listening to your real self, it will not increase your fear. What you hear will not increase your fear. When you're listening to yourself, what you hear will not increase your fear. When you're listening to your real, authentic, true, God, divine self, it will not increase your fear. It will not increase your fear. But I don't know what you're going to hear. How can I, when each of you will hear the answer of your heart? You're just going to hear the answer of your heart, the calling of love to love in violet. It's going to be an answer that only you can hear. It may be an answer that only you can hear. There is no mold. There is no form. In other words, there is no stock answer. There is no stock answer. And I just feel compelled to say that the music that you're listening to, that's my brother John Christmas, my good brother John Christmas. So if you want his music, it's johnchristmas.com. I want you to know that. There is no stock answer. This is why all answers have disappointed you in the past. Your answer is not the same as any other. Your answer may not be the same as my answer. The ultimate answer is the same, but the way the answer reaches us will reach us in our own individual way. There's one truth, but it's going to reach us in our own individual way. So the way that you receive it may not be the way someone else receives it. No matter how filled with wisdom one person's answer may be, that answer is not your answer. You go within for your answer. You go to yourself with a capital S. Yourself has the answer for you. Yourself has the answer for you. Stop trying to teach yourself. Stop trying to teach yourself. Stop trying to teach yourself and let yourself teach you. Stop trying to teach yourself and let yourself teach you. No matter how filled with wisdom one person's answer may be, it's not your answer. You are a thought of a God. You are a God thought. You are a God thought. You are a thought of God. You are one of God's thoughts. You are one of God's thoughts. An idea. This thought, this idea of God, that is you. That is what you're looking for. The thought of God, that is you, can be found only at its source. And the source is love. And love is located in your heart. The source of who you are, Raj, is love and freedom. The source of your love and freedom is in your heart. Paragraph 22, chapter 26. I want you to think a moment of a novel. I want you to think of a movie with no plot. This would be the same as saying that there was no idea brought to completion within the pages or on the film if there's no plot. In God's idea of you is all that is known about you. Everything that's known about you is in the idea that God has of you. Getting in touch with the idea that God, your creator, has of you, that's how you get in touch with everything there is to know about you. The way you get in touch with everything there is to know about you is to get in touch with the idea that God has of you. In God's idea of you is all that is known about you. Now, what is God's idea of you? What is the God idea of you? What is the God idea of you? You are an idea in the mind of God. That's what you are. You are a God thought. You are a God thought. You are an idea in the mind of God. Now, that means that God's idea of you is perfect. God's idea of you is perfect. And until now, your form has been but an imperfect representation of the idea of you that God has. And God's idea of you is the pattern of the universe, much as within a novel, movie, piece of music, invention, or artistic idea is the completion of the pattern that will make that idea a masterpiece. You are an idea. So that means you are irrevocably linked with your source. And you are one with your source. You are an idea. So since you are an idea, you are still linked to what caused you. You exist. So you have to be still linked to what caused you to exist. There was no God separate from you to have an idea of you. You were birthed in unison with God's idea of you. You were birthed as soon as God had the idea of you. You were born and created because God thought of you. You are here because creation thought of you. The Creator thought you up. You are still connected to the Creator that thought you up. You are still linked to the Creator that thought you up. Something thought you up. You did not create yourself. You didn't create yourself. You did not create yourself. So therefore, you were birthed in unison with God's idea of you. You don't have to understand this. You do not have to understand this. This doesn't need to be understood. What I just got through saying, you don't need to understand it. What I just got through saying, you don't need to understand it. You need to accept what you just heard to the extent that you can accept what you just heard. You are created. You have a creator. You're still linked to that creator or you would cease to exist. And that creator is love. That creator is freedom. You don't need to understand what I'm saying. You just need to accept it as much as you can accept it. This is necessary because of your reliance on a God who is other than you. You've been relying on a God that you think is other than you to provide you with your answers. Acceptance of your birth in unison with God's idea of you. What you're doing right now is you are accepting yourself as a co-creator of the pattern of the universe. Accept yourself as the co-creator of the pattern of the universe. Accept yourself as a co-creator of the pattern of the universe. You are a co-creator of the very pattern of the universe. You are a co-creator of the very pattern of the universe, Raj. It's in your acceptance of it's in your acceptance of yourself as co-creator of the pattern of the universe, which is acceptance of the idea or story that is you. Accept the idea that is you. Accept the story that is you. You are a story. Accept the story that is you. You are a story. Accept the Earl story. Accept the Rod story. Mighty companion, accept the story that is you. That means accept the idea that is you. Accept that you are the co-creator of the pattern of the universe. Can you not see that you were birthed into a place in the pattern of God's creation, or that you not only can know but have always known of this place. This is not a place of physical form. This is a place of holiness, which is an integral place in the pattern that is the oneness with God. You have an integral place in the pattern that is oneness with God. You have an integral place. You have an integral place. You have an integral place in the pattern that is the oneness with God. It is a place that you've never left. It is a place that you have never left, but it's a place you know you've been longing for, believing that you don't even know what it is. You've been longing for it. Your life right here, your life, Raj, right here is much like a search for your story. You're searching for your story. Where will this chapter lead? What will the end be like? Was one event a mistake and another event a blessing in disguise? You are trying to know your story's table of contents, or at least you need want a brief outline of your story. Where does your life fit in the larger picture? Where does your life fit in the larger picture? And yet you realize that, like reading a story, when the end is reached, everything is known at the end of the story. Everything is known at the end of the story. The story is over except in your memory. The story, when it's over, is over except in your memory and in your reflection, perhaps in speculation. You might say, I wonder what a sequel would reveal. I wonder what a sequel would reveal. So the viewing of your life as a story is what you do. You view your life as a story. You view your life as a story. You spend each day in review. You spend each day in speculation. What's happened? What's going to happen next? What's happened to me? What's going to happen next to me? You also attempt to rewrite the previous chapters. You also try to cast all the parts. You assign roles to everybody in your life. And then you plan all the events of the next. This is, in effect, you are always attempting to control. You attempt to control what you don't believe you created. Every day you're trying to control what you do not believe you created. Every day you're trying to control what you do not believe you created, what you believe somebody else created. You're trying to attempt to control it. So this, in effect, your attempt to control what you do not believe you created and what you feel deprived of creating. As a being birthed by a thought of God, you were born by a thought of God. You are a God thought. You were born because God thought you up. So that means you grew simultaneously with God's thought, which means you knew your place in the pattern of creation from the very beginning. You know your place in this pattern of creation, and you've known it since you were first born. Ever since you were first born, ever since you first came in here, you knew your place in the pattern of creation. A full life is quite simply, a full life is a fulfillment of that thought. A full life is a fulfillment of that pattern that you knew about from the moment you were born, that was created by the thought of God. You are a co-creator in the pattern of the universe. The only way to know it is to think it once again. What the heck does that mean? The only way to know that full life and that full pattern, the only way to think it once again, the only way to get back to where you need to be in your thinking once again is to be wholehearted, to join your mind and your heart, join your thoughts and your heart, join your heart and your thoughts. Because a split mind and heart do not think clearly. A split mind and heart, a mind opposite to the heart, does not think clearly. Being whole means to be present. When I hear you need to be whole, and I go, what does that mean, to be whole? Well, to be whole means to be present. Being whole is being everything you are. Be everything you are. Be everything you are. Be anything you are. Be anything you are. Be anything you are. Be everything you are. Being whole is being present as all you are. When you are all you are, when you are all you are, then you are all in all. When you are all you are, then you are all in all. One in being with your Father, one in being with your mother, one in being with Father, Mother, God, one in being. So I fulfill my story. You fulfill your story. I fulfill my pattern. You fulfill your pattern. The idea of me that came from the thought of God, fulfill your pattern. The idea of you that God thought up. God thought you up with an idea. There's an idea of you. There was an idea of you before there was a you. You were born knowing that there is an idea of you. Any unhappiness, any sadness, any pain, any frustration is coming from you not living the idea of yourself. The idea of yourself that is your idea of yourself linked with God. So, in doing so, that's how you restore your unity. In doing so, Raj, that's how you restore your oneness with God. I, Jesus, ushered in the new way, and I am now, that you are now longing to adopt. I ushered in the new way that you are longing to adopt. I ushered in a time of being. I ushered in a new way. Now it's time for you to usher in the new way. It's time for you to usher in the new way. It's time for you to usher in. It's time for you to usher in a time of being. Woo! Wow! That was, I'm going to have to go back over that over and over and over again, because on Facebook Live, as soon as I finish, there's an instant replay and you can listen to it over and over again. And I also put it on YouTube the next day so that you can listen to it and over and over again, because we need to do this over and over again. I'm going to do a quick wrap up in just a few minutes, and I want to take this time to thank you, those of you. Thank you for sending me financial expressions of appreciation to support my teaching ministry. Those who would like to share a financial expression of appreciation, then just go to my website, earlpurdy.com. As a full-time teacher, thank you so much for sharing with me financially and every other way that you do. I'm also available to work with you personally on a one-on-one, and I call them clarity sessions, because I help you get what you want based on what we've been studying and learning, and it also helps me do the same. And I've also been an astrologer and a numerologist for over 30 years, and I bring that wisdom into the personal session that we do, if you are open to that. But if you're not, that's not necessary. But I use everything that I've learned over several decades from A Course in Miracles and The Way of Mastery and A Course of Love. And we work together to get past whatever that block is. So just go to my website, earlpurdy.com, and it explains everything about what I do. And please sign up for the contact list, because I will be doing online workshops and very deep, in-depth classes. And so go to my website and sign up for the mailing or contact list, the same thing. I would love to be able to let you know what I'm doing. I am here to be truly helpful. It's the only thing that really turns me on, is to be a conduit for love. So that was an incredible section called The Full Life. So before I do the completion and wrap up, let's see what we said to each other one more time. Let's see what we said to each other one more time. Come on, baby, 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 baby. Pamela says, all the courses are truth, CJ says, be sure and sign up for the mailing list. Pamela says, love your glasses, my little heart glasses. They're really glasses. Kathy says, yes, I listen on my walks and anywhere I need a Earl Raj fix. That again warms my heart. Really warms my heart. Kathy says, all in all, I am God's idea and I join with you mighty companions. I am never alone while we usher in awake. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. I choose to be present to this very moment in all that I am. Raj is my soul name. So when I say Raj, that's just my soul name. My regular name in the world is Earl Purdy. My soul name is Raj. CJ says, I choose to be present to this very moment as all that I am. And Jonas says, being whole is being present. A mind that split is crazy. Love is the theme. Spend each day in review. Which voice will I review it with? This is the most awesome section. That is an incredible section, especially when it talks about us as being thoughts of God. That blows my mind when I hear that we are thoughts of God. We are thoughts of God. You are an idea of God. To be whole is to be present. To be whole is to be present. Being whole is being all that you are. Being whole is being all that you are. Being whole is being present. Being whole is being present. Being present as all you are. Being present as all you are. The only way to know it is to think that you have a pattern. You have a divine pattern. There's a thought that God has of you that is you. And don't be in a split mind. Don't keep yourself in a split mind. I want you to accept yourself as co-creator. I accept myself as co-creator. I accept myself as co-creator of the pattern of the universe. I accept myself as co-creator of the pattern of the universe. I accept myself as the co-creator of the pattern of the universe. Now remember this too. This doesn't need to be understood. This doesn't need to be understood. Just accept it to the extent that you can accept it. You want to accept this to the extent that you can accept it. Accept the fact that you don't need to struggle. Accept the fact that this doesn't necessarily require any effort on your part. I know that might be hard to accept, but this doesn't require any effort on your part. It doesn't. So give up struggling. Give up struggling. You are a thought of God. You are a thought of God. You are a God thought. 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 I am 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 a God thought. You are God thought. You are God thought. You are God thought. I am a God thought. You are God thought. I am a God thought. And you are God thought. This is an invitation from love to love. This is an invitation from love to love. I ask only that you be open. I ask that you only be giving. I ask that you only receive. I allow giving and receiving. allow giving and I allow receiving. I allow giving and I allow receiving. I allow giving and I allow receiving. I listen to my heart and let myself be heard. I listen to my heart and let myself be heard. I listen to my heart and let myself be heard. I listen to my heart and let myself be heard. I listen to my heart and let myself be heard. I say, listen to your heart and let yourself be heard. Listen to your heart and let yourself be heard. I listen to my heart and let myself be heard. I listen to my heart and let myself be heard. Stop planning. This requires no new plans. I'm not asking you to make any decisions. I'm not asking you to do anything new. This is the invitation to greet yourself. This is your invitation to meet your greater self. This is your invitation. This is your invitation. This is your invitation. This is your invitation. The time is now. Now is the time. The time is now. Now is the time. The time is now. Now is the time. The time is now. 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 Now, 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 now. The time is now. The time is now. Mighty companions, it's been great to be here with you for A Course of Love. Go to acourseoflove.org online if you want to find out more about the Course of Love. You're a blessing in my life. Every Thursday, 7 p.m., A Course of Love. Every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Mountain Time, The Way of Mastery. And every Sunday, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, A Course in Miracles. Mighty companions, thank you for joining me online. Mighty companions, I have one thing and one thing to say. I love you. May the Course be with you.